So our sexual energy for many of us is very shut down because of what we were taught about it. So, whether it's from family or from religion or from schooling, most of the messaging that people get around their sexuality tends to be negative or fearful, and it doesn't tend to celebrate sexual energy or teach people that it is a very important part of our well being. It's a very important part of who and what we are, and that it's a very sacred and spiritual part of us. So this leads people to then have their sexuality as something that they feel ashamed about, or that they unconsciously, they may not purposely disconnect from their sexual energy, but it happens anyway because it's not something that we're taught to embrace on a daily basis. It's only associated with, the act of sex or orgasming or getting off. And there's so much taboo around all of that. And on the flip side, our culture, as we were mentioning in the last class, tends to have over sexualization. So use it in advertising and marketing and music and pornography. And so you have this physical representation of it, again, without the sacredness, without the understanding of what sex really is, what sexual energy really is. So this can really limit our experience of pleasure as well, because sexuality is this amazing connection we have to creative energy that moves through all of life. And it's meant to be something that really animates us and flows through our entire being and helps us to feel alive and helps us to feel connected and helps us to just enjoy the pleasure of being here. And it's not all about just the act of sex. So when we start thinking of it in a way where it's more about this river of life that flows through us, that gives us access to pleasure and to feeling alive in a totally different way. So shutting down our pleasure and that river of life also occurs when we have trauma. Many people have trauma, whether it's the feeling of shame and the conditioning about our sexuality, whether it's actual sexual experiences that have happened. Maybe there was abuse, maybe there's been traumatic relationships, breakups, you name it. There are just a lot of trauma, collective trauma around sexuality. So if you have that experience, you are most definitely not alone. And everybody's experience is so incredibly unique. But that also plays a part in us closing off to the experience of this full-bodied sexual river of life that we can tap into. So we end up sort of pushing it away and saying to ourselves unconsciously, don't feel that, don't go there, that is a painful thing. So there is a whole rewiring process here. And also the stress in our body can really shut down this river of life. So if we are holding a lot of tension, if we're in that fight or flight response a lot, then we're limiting that flow of the life force energy through the body, and that can block our access.